Hello, bonjour, namaste, ni hao, and ohio everybody. What is going on? It is Galeriot here, and welcome back to the YouTube channel once again for another Danmachi anime video. And today we are going to be doing some predictions for the 10th anniversary project that was announced on Saturday's live stream for the Danmachi anime. Of course, if you guys weren't aware, on Saturday they obviously did the reveal for Danmachi Battle Chronicles first anniversary and the brand new PV and key visual for season 5 of Danmachi. But along with that, with the anniversary of Danmachi's anime coming up in 2025, of course it's been 10 years since the Danmachi anime came out first in 2015. They want to do something special for it. They've announced that there will be a project coming up in 2025. They've not specified what it's going to be. They've not specified if it's going to be an anime, music concert thingy. They've not specified if it's going to be merch, game, whatever it is. They've not specified what it's going to be, right? They've not specified anything of that sort. But in this video, I'm going to already tell you guys my predictions are all going to be centered around it being a potential anime project, a brand new anime coming out in 2025. And of course, we got to talk about what it will be. Now, of course, if you guys go on to enjoy this video, please be sure to leave a like down below, subscribe to the channel for more content, and let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. What do you guys think it'll be? Do you guys think it'll be an anime, game, concert? And if so, what will it be exactly? If it's an anime, what anime do you expect it to be? If it's a gacha game or a game, what do you expect it to be, and so on and so forth. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Now, it's very hot, so that's why I'm sweating quite a bit. I do apologize if I'm going to be rubbing my face a little bit and taking a little bit of a breather here and there. It's extremely warm today in the UK. But getting on to the main point of this video and the predictions, of course, right? I want to start off with my first prediction, which I think is going to be the likeliest option, but it's also the one I don't want at all. It's the one that I don't want whatsoever. Personally, this is the one that I'd rather not happen whatsoever, but I also think it's the likeliest option. So obviously with season 5 coming up in October 2024, right, we know that this upcoming arc is going to be containing of volumes 16 to 18. Season 5 should encapsulate those three volumes, those three light novel volumes. Now, of course, we know that season 5's first half, it seems like, is called the Goddess of Fertility arc. And of course, it should contain, based on my knowledge of the light novels and of course me reading said light novels, it should be volumes 16 and 17. Now, the thing is, right, we don't know anything about volume 18. They've not shown anything in the, trailers, nothing in the key visuals, nothing of that sort. So it's a very good chance that just like season 4, it's probably going to be split into two parts. Part 1 is probably going to be volume 16 and 17, and part 2 is going to be volume 18. Now, the thing is, right, obviously, January 2025 is when season 5's first half should end. Usually it goes from October to the end of December, start of January, basically. That's what a fall season show usually does. It goes from October to December/January, end December, start January. So if we're going to start the second half, it's going to be in 2025. And it makes sense for the 10th anniversary that it starts from January onwards or sometime in 2025. They could also take a season-long break and start in March, right? I don't think that's going to happen, because what I think they're going to do is that season 5's second half is going to be a movie. I think they're going to actually do volume 18 as a movie, which in my opinion, like I said at the very start of this prediction in itself, this first prediction, it's something I don't want. I think it's the likeliest option because it's a trend that's being set in the anime industry now. You see, shows like Demon Slayer. Demon Slayer started this whole fucking trend, to be honest. JJK has done it. Quintessential Quintuplets has done it. Haikyuu has done it. Kaguya-sama has done it. Irregular Magic High School has done it, I think, if I'm not mistaken, as well. And so a lot of these shows are now just doing this thing where the canonical stuff is now being put into a movie format, which I don't like at all. I don't like this concept whatsoever. I think it's one of the most ridiculous concepts that they've introduced in the anime world. I know it makes them a lot of money, but it's ridiculously annoying to get it in a movie format because it just breaks that chain of like following a show really well. You have to go from a TV to, okay, now I have to go watch the movies to kind of catch up on everything. I don't mind if a movie is non-canonical, but just that whole idea and concept of having to go and get your ass into a theater to watch the rest of a season is very frustrating. Now, I do know the arguments that will be made for it being a movie. Of course, higher production budget, higher time schedule, of course, right? More time to work on the project, higher quality overall. That means, right, with the higher budget and time, that means a higher quality. And so I can get that behind that. I can get absolutely behind that. But I just feel like a second half movie just, I don't know, man. It just doesn't work with me because of the first points I said originally, right? Having that continuity be broken effectively, having to go from a TV show to a movie format. It's very different. You don't realize it, but there's a big difference between a TV format, show and then a movie. It's very two very different formats entirely when it comes to the just general consistency and overall just continuity of the storyline and how they do the dialogues and how they do the cut cliffhangers and stuff like that, right? So that's something to keep in mind in that sense, and why I'm not a big fan of it. The other side is, of course, the distribution side of things. Of course, when it comes to being a movie, there's going to be a huge gap between obviously the end of season 5, it seems like, and there being a movie. The movie won't come out until mid 2025 or late 2025 even as well. So we're going to have to sit on our asses and wait for the rest of the year basically to get to the end of season 5 basically, which will be kind of frustrating for a lot of people. And not to mention, that'll be Japan. When we talk about the rest of the world, the distribution rights are going to be even slower, arguably. It took Demon Slayer so many months to basically get the movie simultaneously sold in all countries. And even then, there was a little bit of a gap between when it came out in Japan and then when it came out to the rest of the world. And for other movies as well, the likes of your quintessential quintuplets, Haikyuu, and so on and so forth, right? There's a huge gap that's going to come up, that is happening when it comes to the Japan release and then the rest of the world release. So we're probably not even going to get the Danmachi movie, if it is going to be a movie, of course, for the second half of season 5, until much later. So when we're done with season 5's first half at the end of 2024, start of 2025, we're probably not going to get the movie until 2026. So in that sense, it is going to be even worse, to be honest, from a viewer's perspective of having to wait that long. Of course, you could say I could sail the high seas, get a cam rip or whatever, but that still is, you're watching it in lower quality. You're also going to be waiting for subtitles to happen. They have to be good subtitles as well, right? It's just a mess. It's just an overall mess, and that I don't want to see happen. I'd rather it just be a TV format, and they just do season 5 part 1, season 5 part 2, and call it a day there. That would be fantastic. Not to mention as well that a runtime of an anime movie, generally speaking, forget it being a Danmachi anime movie, but just an anime movie in general, is about an hour and a half to an hour 45 minutes. Maybe you can stretch it to 2 hours, but that is the effective equivalent of about what? 2 hours, 120 minutes, right? An episode is about 20 minutes long, minus 4 minutes from the intro and outro. So you're basically getting 6 episodes worth of content in a movie effectively, right? Obviously, I would say maybe you can extend it to 7 episodes because the continuity is a lot smoother. You're not leaving it on cliffhangers or anything of that sort, right? So 7 episodes, let's say. But that's still, I wouldn't say, enough for Volume 18. I think Volume 18 needs at least 10 episodes minimum, if not more, arguably. So, again, comes down to that fact of, is it going to be enough? Probably not. So, there's just so many factors that I don't want it to be a movie. But I just think with the current trend that's going on in the industry, right, with all this Demon Slayer stuff, quintessential quintuplets, JJK, Haikyuu, so on and so forth, I think an anime movie is going to be very likely for the second half of season 5, unfortunately. And that is my first prediction. And like I said, I think it's the likeliest one, even though it's the one that I want the least. Now, the second one is the one I want the most. And it is a new adaptation of Sword Oratoria. Either it's a reboot or season 2. We desperately need it. It's ridiculous that they've decided to not do Sword Oratoria since 2017. I think it's one of the dumbest decisions they could have made, completely, to be quite honest. I don't know what it is. Is it fear that the series is shite because of what happened in season 1? No, it's not. Like, it's not gonna perform shite. The thing is, when you actually do justice to the series and you actually get people interested, then you can cook. The problem is Sword Oratoria Season 1 did not do that. It was on a wrong platform at the time. Why was it on Amazon Prime Video? Nobody fucking knows, because back in 2017, nobody even was using Amazon Prime Video. Everybody was still using Crunchyroll primarily. Netflix was only just starting to develop into something special at that time. And then only did Prime Video, Disney Plus, and all of these things started to come up. And To be honest, I would say they didn't even come up completely until 2019, 2020. Primarily when COVID started is when these, streaming services really came into play, right? So I feel like they definitely need to reconsider their approach with Sword Art Oratoria and actually do it. It's a shame that we haven't gotten a second season for Sword Art Oratoria or anything new for Sword Art Oratoria purely because of how it connects to the main series. In fact, with Season 5 coming up, and especially Volume 18's part of Season 5, some of the characters are going to make some decisions that you need to know Sword Art Oratoria for. Otherwise, you're gonna be like, what the fuck is this guy doing? He's a fucking idiot. What is he doing? What is he doing? What is he doing? What is he doing? You're gonna keep asking that question. You're gonna dislike that character, or those characters, I should say. And it's because they didn't do Sword Art Oratoria at all. In fact, when I do my video about how to prepare for Season 5, the first thing I'm gonna say is you guys need to go and check out Sword Art Oratoria, be it the Danmimo version or the general light novel versions or the manga. You guys need to go and do something with Sword Art Oratoria and read it, because it's ridiculous that, we're going into a Season 5 and, a potential continuation of Season 5 onwards as well, Season 6 and so on and so forth, without any Sword Art Oratoria being adapted into anime format. It is actually ridiculous because there's so much integral stuff in there with the likes of Lafia, Eyes, Loki's Familia as a whole, and their interactions with the rest of Orario, Freya Familia, Hestia Familia, and so on and so forth, that you cannot not adapt it any longer. They have to adapt it. In my opinion, before Season 5 came out or was announced, I think this should have been the thing that they did the most. This Sword Art Oratoria Season 2 should have been priority, in my opinion, 100%. And it's not me being a fanboy of Sword Art Oratoria. This is me just being genuinely serious about Sword Art Oratoria needing to be adapted because of the correlations and the importance it has for the main series. A lot of people say that, we're catching up so close to the light novels. If Amori didn't waste his time on all of these other side series, this is a comment I recently got. I can't remember the name of the person who said it, but it's just like, no, he didn't waste his time with these other series. It's the fault of the production company for not adapting these series when they're so important to the story of Danmachi as a whole. They shape the current iteration of Orario, sorry, not Oratoria, of Orario. And so them not adapting this is a big blunder. It's a huge blunder, and I blame SB Creative here, as well as whoever else is making the decisions for the anime itself. They need to be doing Sword Art Oratoria soon. I mean, of course, like I said, I'll be letting you guys know what you guys need to know the most from Sword Art Oratoria in my guide to prepare for Season 5. But right now, if there's anything else, that I want the most, we need Sword Art Oratoria. We need Sword Art Oratoria stat. It is very imperative that we get Sword Art Oratoria sooner rather than later. So this would be the one thing I would want the most from Danmachi's 10th anniversary of the anime next year. It's priority. It is genuinely priority. Now, the other side of the coin is, of course, Astraea Record. This is yet another story that I would say is quite integral. To be honest, this should have probably been done before Season 4, funnily enough. But even without Season 4, I think this can still be done and can still have a huge impact on what's to come in Season 5 and also maybe even Season 6, to be fair, as well. So realistically, Astraea Record is, of course, a prequel story of sorts, basically, right? Because it takes place 7 years before the current events. Before Bell comes to Orario, it takes place 7 years before that. It features a younger Ryu. It features a live Astraea Familia, a much younger Freya Familia and Loki Familia as well, and a Orario that's just coming out of the fact that Zeus and Hera's Familias got absolutely decimated and run out of Orario, basically, as well, and obviously decimated by the one-eyed black dragon. So seeing Astraea Record will be amazing for a lot of people, because this will be a much darker story, of course, for one. So it'll be approaching a lot of people's interests as well. I feel like it'll pique a lot of people's interests as well. Number two, it also involves certain things about Orario that you will learn in terms of, what happened exactly all those years ago. And along with that as well, what is the implications of the future of Orario as well when it comes to certain things that happen and certain characters that are involved here, basically, as well. And overall, it'll just give you a better idea of course, the Loki, Freya, and of course, the Astraea familiars all together as well, because they're the focal points of this story. So Astraea Record would also be a fantastic option for next year's anime project. Now, I would probably say, like I said, I would rank it as Sword Art Oratoria, Astraea Record, a bunch of other things like Argonaut and stuff, and then an anime movie option for season 5. I just don't want a movie, to be honest. I don't want the movie to happen. I'd rather it be a TV show and they can just go from there. In the meantime, if they want to do something new and something fresh and something interesting, stick to doing something with Sword Art Oratoria, Astraea Record, or any of these other, stories that obviously Danmimo provided us, like the likes of Argonaut, Aedes Vesta, stuff like that. I think any of those things would be way better than a movie option for season 5 second half. I don't want it. I simply just do not want it. But y'all can let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Maybe I'm just hating a bit too much on the movie idea, but I just don't see it being a feasible idea, to be honest. I just don't see it being a feasible idea whatsoever in terms of just generally the viewer experience side of things. Of course, I'm talking about it from a viewer's perspective. From a monetary perspective, and you could argue as well from a quality perspective, it might be amazing, but I think, from a viewer experience, I think it's not fun. It's personally just not fun. But y'all can let me know in the comment section down below. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Leave a like, subscribe to the channel for more content, and I will see you guys in the next one. Until then, take it easy, everybody. Bye-bye.